Please, Bryn, I know it's last minute, but you're the only person I trust. I can't let them down. Bryn Castellano looked at her cousin Mara lying in the hospital dead, her ankle elevated and wrapped in a cast from a freak accident just hours before she was supposed to photograph the biggest wedding of the season. Mara's camera equipment sat in the corner, a silent plea. "I'm just a fashion design student," Bryn said softly, her heart already knowing she'd say yes. "I take photos of fabric swatches and sketches, not weddings." "You have an incredible eye," Mara insisted, squeezing her hand. "You see beauty in details others miss. These people need someone who cares. Please." 24 years old and terrified, Bryn found herself at Willowbrook Estate 2 hours later, camera in trembling hands, surrounded by wealth she'd only seen in magazines. The bride and groom's families moved through the gardens like they belonged in a painting, everything perfect, everything choreographed. She felt utterly out of place in her simple cream dress and borrowed camera. "Excuse me, are you the photographer?" Bryn turned to find a little girl in a white flower girl dress, maybe 4 years old, with copper curls and bright, curious eyes. She held a stuffed bunny that had clearly seen years of love. "I am," Bryn said, kneeling to the child's level. "What's your name?" "Harper. This is Mr. Whiskers." She held up the bunny. "Daddy says I have to smile for pictures, but Mr. Whiskers is camera shy. Can you help?" Something in Bryn's chest softened. "I think Mr. Whiskers just needs the right photographer, someone who understands that being brave is hard sometimes." Harper's eyes widened with understanding. "Are you scared too?" "Very scared," Bryn admitted, "but maybe we can be brave together." "Harper, sweetheart, don't bother the photographer." Bryn looked up to see a man in an impeccably tailored navy suit approaching. He was 34, maybe, with dark hair and eyes that held both warmth and weariness. When he smiled at his daughter, everything about him softened. "She's not bothering me at all," Bryn said, standing. "We were just discussing photography strategies for shy bunnies." The man's expression shifted, surprise, then genuine appreciation. "I'm Beckett Ashford. The groom is my younger brother. This is my daughter, Harper." "Bryn Castellano. I'm filling in, last minute. I promise I'll do my absolute best." Beckett studied her for a long moment. "You didn't have to tell me that. Most people would have just pretended they were always the plan." "I don't like pretending," Bryn said simply. Something passed between them, recognition, perhaps, of kindred spirits in a sea of performance. Throughout the ceremony, Bryn focused on her work, but she kept noticing Beckett, the way he held Harper's hand during the vows, his eyes glistening with emotion, how he wiped away a tear when his brother said, "I do," then immediately looked embarrassed. The tender way he fixed Harper's flower crown when it slipped. Here was a man who felt things deeply in a setting designed for beautiful surfaces. During the reception, Harper found Bryn again at the photo booth. "Daddy looks sad. Can you take a picture that makes him happy?" Bryn glanced over to see Beckett standing alone by the terrace, drink in hand, watching the celebration with an expression of profound loneliness despite being surrounded by people. "Why do you think he's sad, Harper?" "Mommy went to heaven 2 years ago. Daddy tries to be happy for me, but sometimes I see him cry at night. He thinks I'm sleeping, but I'm not." Harper's voice carried wisdom beyond her years. "At weddings, I think he remembers his own wedding. I've seen the pictures. Mommy looked like a princess." Bryn's throat tightened. She understood now, the weariness in his eyes, the way he held Harper like she was his entire world. "Your daddy is very lucky to have you." "Will you talk to him? Adults listen to other adults. Maybe you can make him less lonely." Later, as the reception flowed and Bryn captured candid moments of joy and love, she found herself at the terrace. Beckett was still there, now sitting on the stone wall, tie loosened, looking up at the stars. "Your daughter is remarkable," Bryn said softly, approaching him. Beckett smiled, the weariness lifting slightly. "She's my everything, the reason I keep going." He paused. "I saw your work tonight. The way you photograph people, you capture something real, not just smiles, but the emotion behind them. That's a rare gift."
I learned it from loss, Bryn admitted, surprising herself with her honesty. My father died when I was 16. Fashion design was his dream for me. Every sketch I make, every photograph I take, I'm trying to honor his memory by seeing beauty the way he taught me to see it, by making something meaningful. Beckett's eyes met hers. My wife, Caroline, died in a car accident. Harper was 2. These past 2 years have been... I built a successful company. I provide everything Harper could need, but I can't give her what she really wants, a complete family. At my brother's wedding today, watching him start his journey, I felt left behind, stuck in grief while everyone else moves forward. Grief doesn't mean you're stuck. It means you loved deeply. That's beautiful, Beckett. It's something not to outrun. Your daughter sees that love in you. That's why she's so caring, so aware of others' feelings. Something shifted in his expression. Relief, understanding, connection. How did you end up being my brother's photographer?
My cousin fell. I said yes because I couldn't let her down. But honestly, I've been terrified all day. This isn't my world. The wealth, the perfect people, the expectations. I'm just a student trying to honor someone else's commitment. You didn't just honor it, you exceeded it. Beckett's voice was warm. Because you care. Because you see people, not just images. Over the following months, Beckett and Bryn's friendship deepened naturally. He'd found her contact information and called, asking if she'd photograph Harper's birthday party, then a company event. Each time, what started as professional work transformed into genuine connection. Harper adored Bryn, often requesting her presence for tea parties and art sessions. Bryn taught the little girl about colors and creativity, while Harper reminded Bryn how to find joy in simple moments. What neither Bryn nor Beckett acknowledged openly was that they were falling for each other. Bryn worried she'd seem opportunistic, a struggling student pursuing a wealthy CEO. Beckett feared moving forward meant betraying Caroline's memory or risking Harper's heart on someone who might leave. One evening, 8 months after the wedding, Bryn arrived at Beckett's home to find Harper crying. "What's wrong, sweetheart?" she asked, immediately concerned. "Daddy said you're not coming to our family dinner anymore, that you're too busy with school." Harper's tears fell freely. "But you're part of our family. I don't want you to go." Bryn looked up to find Beckett in the doorway, his expression pained. "Can we talk?" he asked quietly. Outside, under the same stars they'd stood beneath at the wedding, Beckett spoke. "I'm pulling away because I'm terrified. I'm falling in love with you, Bryn. Have been since that first conversation about brave bunnies. But I have so much baggage, grief, a child, responsibilities. You're 24 with your whole life ahead of you. You deserve someone uncomplicated, someone who can give you everything, not someone still learning how to live again." Bryn's eyes filled with tears. "Do you think I don't know what I want? Beckett, I've been in love with you for months, not because of what you have, but because of who you are. The way you love Harper with your entire soul, the way you cry at weddings and aren't ashamed, the way you see people's work and honor it with genuine appreciation." She took his hand. "I don't want uncomplicated. I want real. I want you, both of you." Beckett pulled her close, his voice breaking. "I don't want to be alone anymore, and I don't want Harper to grow up thinking love is something we only get once. Caroline would want me to be happy, to let love in again." "Then let me in," Bryn whispered. "Let us build something together, not replacing what you had, but creating something new, something beautiful." Harper appeared in the doorway, Mr. Whiskers in her arms. "Are you staying, Bryn?" Bryn smiled through tears. "If you'll have me, sweetheart." "Forever and ever?" Beckett looked at Bryn, hope flooding his features. "Forever and ever sounds perfect to me." 1 year later, at another wedding, this time as guests, not workers, Bryn watched Beckett and Harper dance together, their laughter filling the air. She'd graduated fashion school, started her own small design business, and found a family she'd never expected. The three of them had built a life together, not on grand gestures, but on daily kindness, shared grief transformed into shared joy, and the courage to remain open when closing off would have been easier. As Beckett pulled Bryn onto the dance floor, Harper between them, Beckett whispered, "Thank you for saying yes that day, for filling in, for seeing me. Thank you for being brave enough to love again, for showing me that sometimes the most beautiful things happen when we step into situations we never planned for." In a world obsessed with perfect plans and careful strategies, remember this: the most meaningful connections often begin with saying yes to unexpected opportunities. Kindness shown in small moments, to a scared child, to a lonely father, to someone stepping into shoes too big for them, creates ripples that change lives. Love doesn't always look like we expect. Sometimes it starts with a stuffed bunny, a borrowed camera, and the courage to be honest about our fears. When we choose authenticity over pretense, when we see others' humanity beneath their surfaces, we open doors to extraordinary possibilities. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Let's spread more stories of kindness and hope together.